Hey Olivia, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm just so glad that you're here and you decided to do this interview with me because, breast implants and the dangers of it is serious.
It is.
And I know you had a crazy time with the whole thing, so I would love for you to tell everybody your story.
Yeah, I'm
What
excited.
made you, what made you go to implants in the first place? What was it?
So I just had my oldest, and I had stopped breastfeeding. So I went from, having larger breasts from breastfeeding to being basically completely flat. And I was just, I was really embarrassed. I didn't, really feel womanly. Um, so I decided that, I would go ahead and spend the money on getting breast implants.
Do you remember the day you decided to do it?
Yes, I do.
Tell me
Um,
about it.
John and I had went to Target to try on bras,
Mhm.
and I was in the dressing room and I came out with a pizza bra on, and John made a comment like, oh, that'll be great for CrossFit or something along those lines, and I was like, what are you talking about? He said, that's a put you got a sports bra on, right? I said, no, like it's a push-up bra. What do you mean?
Mhm.
So I decided to get implants after that.
Wow. Was he all for it?
No, not at all. He didn't think that I needed them and said, that I was fine the way I was. But my self-esteem and my confidence was just um, in the dirt at that time because I had gained weight and then lost weight, gained weight. Um, that I really had it stuck in my head that that's what I was going to do at that time.
Had you suffered with, low self-esteem prior to this?
No.
No.
So in high school, all throughout high school, I met John when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated early. So throughout high school, I played softball. I was competitive. I had recruiters looking at me. I was in good shape. So I had never struggled with self-esteem before.
Wow, just after the babies and the weight gain is what did
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And when did you start to notice that, your confidence went up and what things were changing about you?
So about 5 weeks after I got my breast implants done, I started to like the way I looked. Then I kind of just went down a rabbit hole. Um, when it came to my body image. So I had, the bigger breasts. I was probably about a full D. Um, and then, I was already big into CrossFit. We did CrossFit. We ate paleo.
Mm-hmm.
So I really loved the way that I looked after I had my breast implants done. I was in good shape and we were doing CrossFit all the time. So I'd say a few months afterwards was when I really started to like the way that I looked.
Okay. And how long had you had your implants in?
I had them done right after my 20th birthday, so 4 years.
4 years. And it never gave you any problems throughout that 4 years until when?
So I did not think, um, how do I answer this? So I didn't think that it was giving me any issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't really think anything about my breast implants causing any issues until about 10 months ago when my husband's cousin came to me and said, hey, one of my friends had her implants taken out, and she has been off of all of her depression medication, her anxiety medicine, everything. So you may just want to look into your implants causing all these issues because, as you know, um, I was on depression medication, anxiety medicine, um, on all kinds of stuff. And then about 5, 6 months ago was when my health really started to deteriorate. And I looked more into the breast implants because we couldn't find a reason as to why my health got so bad. Um, and it was just like eye opening with the amount of symptoms that I had that matched what's called breast implant illness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had noticed that my right breast implant had felt almost like rippled at the bottom of
Okay.
my breast. And, I had brought it up to my doctor one day, and that was when the light bulb kind of went off in his head that, oh my gosh, I think all of these issues are caused by your breast implants.
Oh, wow.
I had two months prior to having my implants taken out, I had gone through diverticulitis, colitis. I went through like flu-like symptoms, anxiety attacks, just all kinds of just crazy stuff that we couldn't explain because my blood work was normal. The only thing that was coming off was my internal inflammation markers were through the roof.
You said your inflammation markers?
Yeah, my internal inflammation markers. So
Okay.
it's basically like the inflammatory response you have in your body.
And so that's when they discovered, boom, it's the implants.
Yeah, and then my doctor had done a breast exam and found 2 lumps at the time, and he wanted to make sure that I didn't have cancer because I didn't know that implants can cause BIACL. It's a certain type of lymphoma that is caused by breast implants.
Oh, wow.
So we had to do a bunch of testing, and we couldn't rule out cancer. We actually were not able to rule out cancer until I went to my surgeon in Austin, and he sent everything, the capsule, it's the skin that forms around your breast implant. He sent all of that off and some tissue to a pathologist to make sure that I didn't have cancer. So we just recently found out that I did not have cancer.
Ooh, I can't even imagine how you must have felt, you know, going through those months of thinking, oh, do I have cancer? Because you said you had lumps, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes. My primary care physician had found 2. I had flown to Virginia to spend some time with family, and I had a lot of help up in Virginia, so I planned on having my surgery in Virginia. When I had met with that plastic surgeon, she found an additional 2 lumps. So at the time had 4 masses in my breast that they weren't able to identify through an ultrasound. My breast tissue was so dense from the scar tissue around the breast implants.
Wow. So what happened after that?
So insurance actually declined to cover my surgery.
Okay.
To have my implants taken out because the way they put it basically was you willingly had a cosmetic surgery that was unnecessary. So we're not going to cover for you to have the implants taken out based off of the complications from a willing surgery. So I came back to Texas, and I found Dr. Whitfield in Austin. And I did a consult with him. We really weren't sure how we were going to pay for the surgery at that time because the surgery that I had was $11,000 and insurance wasn't like covered. But through God, thank you, Lord, we were able to pay cash for the surgery.
Oh, wow.
And I had the surgery 4 weeks ago.
Wow. How are you feeling now?
I feel wonderful.
Do you?
Great.
Do you notice a big difference, major difference?
Difference. I mean, within days of surgery, it was a month last Wednesday, and I have only had to take my anxiety medication twice since surgery. Wow. I'm off my depression medicine. I'm off all of, my daily medicines that I literally could not function without.
Right.
I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue before I had my implants taken out, and I was on medications for that. I'm off all of those medications, and I have just a ridiculous amount of energy. All of my symptoms are gone.
Yeah, I seen you, and when I saw you, your eyes look really, really sick. There was a time I was really concerned, and I'm glad you kept me posted, but God is good, right?
Because God is good all the time. You're right.
I'm sure your faith wavered.
Oh, yes. And, I'm not even ashamed to admit it.
Yeah.
I was really angry for a while. I felt like God had abandoned me. Why am I so sick all the time?
Right.
Why is he putting me through this? I didn't understand because it had been chalked up to postpartum and you have acute anxiety disorder and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I struggled every day, and I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And, I've come to realize that, if I hadn't struggled as hard as I did, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have the relationship I have now with certain family members. I
Okay.
wouldn't have the relationship I have now with God.
Okay.
And it's just this whole trial that I've been through, even though it's a long, hard, trying trial,
Yeah.
has put me in such a good spot in life, in my marriage and, being a mother, in my relationships with other people.
Good.
It's just God has really blessed me.
Wow. So where are you emotionally? Like just glad it's over, and what are
Yes,
you doing for your health now?
100%. So I eat healthy. Everybody knows that. I do my macros. I make sure that I have a couple hours a week to myself. As to before I didn't, because I just didn't want to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Just because I just struggled so much. I take my vitamins, I eat healthy. I'm not able to get back into the gym yet. We had a really rough surgery. So my recovery time was pushed from 2 to 4 weeks to 4 to 6.
Okay.
So I haven't been able to get back into the gym yet, but once I'm cleared to go back in the gym, I'll definitely be in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm outside a lot more with the boys playing. I actually played baseball earlier with the kids in the backyard.
Aw.
So that was a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I do a daily skincare routine, my macros, everything.
So you're really taking care of yourself, in other words.
Definitely, I've
It,
realized if I'm not healthy, my kids aren't taken care of.
yeah,
Nobody's taken care of.
that's right. That's right. What could you tell everybody in closing, education wise? I mean, is there anything any tips that you learned that you could share with everybody, or things to look out for? And
So I didn't know this before,
mm-hmm.
which I've had a lot of women reach out to me about my breast implants, asking about, how I look afterwards, if I'm happy with my results,
Mm-hmm.
about them being scared, about hating the way that they look
Yeah.
afterward, just in general, my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not know until after I did some research. I've had a lot of girls say, well, I want to get saline, so saline's safe. It's not silicone.
Mm-hmm.
Saline implants are stored, so you have the saline inside. The actual shell around the saline implants are silicone.
Really?
Yes. So you're technically not getting silicone filled breast implants.
Right.
You still have
But
the
still.
silicone around your breast implants. And there's no talk, no warning, nothing in, fine print, nothing about the complications after having breast implants done.
Wow.
You go in, you sign waivers for the surgery, possible
Mm-hmm.
complications of surgery, and then post is infection, hematomas, blood clots, so on and so forth. But there is not a single thing about breast implant illness, breast implant poisoning, nothing. And I was never warned about any of the possible side effects that my body could reject them 4 years later.
Mm.
So I would say, if you're considering implants, whether it be silicone or saline, do your research, talk to other women that have had explants done. Just don't go in blind like I did. Because it really, you'll be paying $7,000 for the implants, and then you'll be paying $11,000 to have them taken out years later.
Crazy. It's so crazy. And we were talking about vanity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Today's society thinks that you have to fit in or look like everybody else. And
Definitely.
truly, we are just beautifully made, just the way we are.
100%.
So what I want to know now is, now that they're out, how do you feel about yourself?
So at first, the first 3 or 4 days, I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I think it was just kind of shell shock for me.
Yeah.
Because I went from, having the implants for 4 years and being used to a certain way that the way that I looked in the mirror, to now I'm completely flat. But I honestly don't care,
Really?
yeah, it's funny because I have six incisions
Hmm.
on my chest, and it's just kind of, whatever.
Look at that. Yeah, that's a different Olivia that I
Def-
look at today,
Definitely.
right? This is a different Olivia because
And
you.
another thing is, so now that a bunch of women are coming out with, um, it gave me, BIACL, the lymphoma caused by breast implants.
Hmm.
I took my implants out, and I'm no longer having these symptoms or whatever. The FDA is just now considering putting a black box label on breast implants.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That's good. They
So
need to.
yes, they do,
They
100%.
need to. Yes. Wow. Okay. But I just want to part by saying this. You are enough. You've always been enough.
Yes,
You've always been enough. And I watched trial after trial after trial try to get you. But even through the midst of your downtimes, you stood up. In the midst
yes.
of
Mhm.
people talking, you still stood. So I'm proud of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
really proud of you. Well, thank you, Olivia. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No, man, I think that's it. Just stop listening to other people and telling them how you need to look.
And love yourself, right?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
And last thing, and don't doubt God because He didn't do it. You
No,
know,
definitely. Yes,
God
don't
didn't
doubt.
do it. We did it,
Yeah,
right? We did that.
we did. We made a big mistake.
Right. And then we want to blame God. It's so
But
easy to do. It's
it's
so
easy.
easy to do. But we know better today, and that's the most important thing, right?
Definitely.
All
Yes.
right. Well, thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.